Okay, so we can start with HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and this is used for structuring and presenting content on the World Wide Web. Okay, HTML is used for structuring and presenting content on the World Wide Web. Okay, HTML language for describing web documents. HTML is a markup language for describing web documents. Okay, web documents, like a standard system for tagging text files to achieve fonts, colors, graphics, and so on. So markup language is a set of markup tags language is a set of markup tags and HTML documents are described by HTML tags. HTML documents described by HTML tags. Okay, each HTML tag describes different document content. Each HTML tag describes different document content. Okay, so this is the HTML. Okay, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and is used for describing the web documents. So markup language is a set of markup tags and HTML documents described by HTML tags. Okay, so collection of HTML tags, nothing but a web document. So each HTML tag describes different document content. For example, you want to display some content in the web browser. Okay, you can use HTML elements or HTML tags to display content in the browser. Okay, like a paragraph tag or div tag or span tag, any tag we can use to display content in the browser. So first of all, before to continue with HTML examples, we need to know the history of HTML. Okay, like versions of HTML. Versions of HTML. So HTML versions is, so first version is HTML 1.0. Okay, so this version is released in 1991. Okay, released in 1991, and this is the first version of HTML and supported inline images and text controls. This is the first version of HTML and used to and supported inline images and text controls. The text controls, inline images and text controls means, for example, you want to display some like image in the browser. Okay, we can use inline images to display the images in the browser. And text controls means you want to display the text box in the browser. Text box means user can enter text in the document, okay, web document. So that is the text box. Okay, here in the first version of HTML, we can use this image tag to display image in the browser. Okay, here this is the attribute of image tag. Okay, source attribute is used to provide image path. Okay, need to provide image path here. So just a syntax. This is the syntax. And height. Okay, we have to define the image height and width. Okay, image width. And alt attribute to display image text. Okay, alternate text. Suppose if you don't have any image to display in the browser, okay, you can define the image name in alt attribute. Okay, here you can define the image name, so that image name will display in the browser instead of image. So next, you want to display text box, you can use input tag and type attribute text. Okay, and close this tag. So for each and every tag in HTML, so we have starting tag, ending tag. So this is the starting tag and this is the ending tag. Okay, for each and every HTML tag, starting tag and ending tag is there. And we cannot using HTML 1.0 version, we can't do, and we can't use tables, HTML tables. So in the present version of HTML, the current version is HTML5. So in HTML5 we can use tables. Okay, but in HTML 1.0 we can't use tables, and we can't specify the fonts, and we can't specify the page background. Okay, so like this number of features we can't use in HTML 1.0. So because this is the first version of HTML, and this is the limited terms of styling and the presentation of content. Okay, using this version we can do following things. First one is we can't use tables, HTML tables, and we cannot specify fonts. And finally third one, we cannot change page background. Cannot change page background. Okay, page background nothing but we cannot specify the background color or background image for the HTML document. Okay, in present version we can do all these things. So save this file. Okay, so this is our project folder for our UI content. Take HTML folder and save the notepad in HTML folder. Okay, I will share this document also after complete the HTML, and CSS and JavaScript, jQuery, all the things I will share after complete the UI. course. Next, so this is the first version of HTML 1.0. Second version is HTML 2.0. HTML 2.0. This version released in 1995. Okay, this version released in 1995, and this version supported more browsers. Version supports more browsers. Okay, like Chrome, okay, Firefox, and Safari. So like this, number of browsers supports. So this HTML 1.0 supports only IE. Okay, but HTML 2.0 from the HTML 2.0 version, so HTML supports more browsers. And using from the HTML 2.0, so we can do the we can change the page background from this version. We can change page background. Okay, and we can use HTML tables. Okay, and third version is HTML 3.0 version. 3.2. This is the third version. So this version released in 1997. Okay, so from this version, uh, mainly this version supports and to include complex mathematical equations. Okay, so this version includes support for creating tables and expanded options for form elements, and also allowed web pages to include complex mathematical equations. Support for creating tables and expanded options for form elements. Next, this version allowed web pages to allows us to include include through complex mathematical equations. Okay, and fourth version is HTML 4.0. 4.0.1. Okay, this version released in 19 1999. Okay, this version released in 1999, and from this version you can use style sheets. Okay, style sheets. So from this version, it is possible to change the look and feel of the website. Okay, from this version, it is possible to change the look and feel of the fill of the web document. Okay, nothing but HTML form. Okay, from this version, so we can use style sheets. So style sheets the main concept, core concept in HTML. Okay, uh, up to 3.0 we can't use style sheets in HTML, but from this version HTML 4.0.1 version, so we can use style sheets. So using style sheets we can change the look and feel of the document. For example, if you want to change the total website background color, okay, just we can do that in style sheet. Okay, in the one file, so we can do that in only one file, that is a CSS file, so it will reflect to the entire application. Okay, otherwise if you want to change font style, okay, you can change that in one .css file. Okay, that is style sheet, so it will reflect to the entire application. So font style also, okay, font size, so everything we can change using style sheets. Okay, this is the core concept in HTML4. So just change the style sheet, so it will reflect to the entire application. So next version is HTML5 version. HTML5. So this is the current version of HTML. Current version of HTML, and we have a lot of features in HTML5 version. Okay, this is released in 2014. Okay, 2014 October, this is released HTML5. So number of features is there. uh, Features are a new doc type, new doc type. Next, figure element, and the third one, no more types for skips and links. Skips and links. And the fourth one, local storage. And the fifth one, email inputs. And the sixth one, header tag. Next one, footer tag. Next one, content editable. Content editable. Next one, canvas. So next one is canvas. uh, SVG tag, and media elements. Okay, so video, audio, so like this number of elements is there. Okay, so here these are the main important features in HTML5. Okay, so we can write HTML using Notepad or any text editor. Okay, so in our system you can use Notepad or you can use any text editor to implement HTML documents. So I will suggest some editors, okay, HTML editors. You can use following editors: implement HTML documents. So first one is uh, Coffee Cup HTML editor, and the second one is Sublime Text, okay, and the third one Adobe Dreamweaver, okay, Adobe Dreamweaver, and fourth one Microsoft Expression Web. Next, fifth one, you can use Notepad also, even Notepad also you can use. And the sixth one, Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is one software, okay, for implement HTML documents or any type of forms. Okay, so these are the example editors, anyone you can use. So here I'm using Visual Studio Code. Okay, basically I'm a .NET developer, so I'm using Visual Studio Code, or we can use Visual Studio also. Okay, .NET editor IDE. So here Visual Studio is code is here. So open that. So now, so already we created folder, okay, for HTML. Okay, so open this folder in Visual Studio. Okay, so open folder. Okay, so open this folder. Okay, so here we have only html doc.txt file is there. Okay, so now create one HTML file. Okay, click here, sample.html. Okay, so HTML form is created here, but without any empty form is created, HTML form. So now we have to write some HTML tags to run this form, HTML form, in the browser. Okay, to display some content in the browser. So first tag is doctype HTML. Okay, doctype HTML and HTML tag. Like in HTML tag we have two sections. One is header section, okay, and the second one is body. Okay, so in body section we can include all HTML tags. Okay, we can take a paragraph, div element, or span, or text boxes, or image controls. So any type of HTML tag we can use in body section. Okay, this header section is used to call CSS files and JavaScript files. Okay, and to include the functionality in HTML file. okay, in this HTML form. So this is the HTML basic tags to create HTML document. Okay, in body section, take one paragraph. So paragraph defines in HTML p. Okay, p tag to p tag defines paragraph. So this p tag is used to display some content in the browser. Okay, paragraph to display some example paragraph in the browser. So just copy the content from here. Okay, we have this content. Okay, so copy this content and paste here. Okay, this is one paragraph. So save this and run this example. Okay, here open this. Okay, double click here. So this content paragraph is displaying in the browser. Go to inspect and you can see. Okay, go to inspect and you can see total HTML code here. Okay, doc type HTML tag and HTML tag and header section and body section. In the body, so this is the body section. So body section uh, is the content to display in the browser. Okay, any type of elements, any type of content we can display using body tag. So this is the body tag. Okay, so this example is displaying some content in the browser. So now what is this doc type HTML and what is this HTML tag and what is this header section and body section. Okay, so always we have to add doc type declaration to our HTML documents. Okay, so this is the HTML5 declaration type. Okay, but in HTML older versions, okay, older versions of HTML, we need to define this doc type HTML in different way. Okay, I will tell you that one also. So so all HTML documents must start with the type declaration. All HTML documents must uh, start with the type declaration. Okay, type declaration, that is doc type HTML. Doc type HTML. So now what is this doc type HTML? So we have to add this doc type declaration to our HTML documents. Always we have to add doc type declaration to our HTML documents. Okay, so that the browser knows what type of document to expected. So that browser browser knows what type of documents to expect. So in older versions of HTML, so follows the DTD rules. Old version of HTML follows DTD rules. Okay, DTD rules. DTD means doc type declaration. Doc type declaration. So old versions of HTML follows DTD rules to implement HTML documents. So that's why we have to define the doc type declaration in different way. So that is DTD specifies the rules for the markup language. DTD specifies the rules for the markup language. Rules for the markup language ensure that the browser render the content correctly. So in older versions of HTML, so we have to define the first tag, that is doc type HTML, like this. Doc type HTML and public double quotes hyphen slash slash W3C slash slash DTD space XHTML 1.0 and transitional to transitional EM EN. Okay, so this is the doc type declaration. Okay, to declare to define HTML documents in older versions. EN. uh, Next, again double quotes HTTP slash slash uh, www.w3.org and slash here slash xhtml 1 slash dtd slash xhtml 1 transitional.dtd. Okay, this is the declaration of doc type HTML tag in older versions. But in HTML5, okay, we can define this tag like this. Okay, this is the simplest way to define doc type declaration in HTML5 version. So, HTML5 is based on a standard generalized markup language. Is a standard for how to specify document markup language or markup tags, set of tags, and we have to add doc type HTML declaration to our HTML documents so that the browser render the content correctly. Okay, no need to define all these uh, doc doc type declaration rules. Okay, like the older ones. So this is the new feature of HTML5. Okay, so already mentioned in HTML5 features. Okay, this is the new doc type feature in HTML5. Okay, in HTML5. we have to define like this. In older versions of HTML, we have to define doc type tag like this. Okay, so we can start with the HTML elements. Like first element is paragraph. Okay, this is the simple tag in HTML. HTML elements. So first one is HTML paragraph. Okay, first tag is, so define any block of content, or to define any block of content in the browser, we can use this paragraph. So HTML paragraphs are defined with the p tag. HTML paragraphs are defined with the p tag. Okay, HTML paragraphs are defined with the p tag, and use it to display any block of content in browser. Okay, so browser automatically adds some space before and after each paragraph element. Browser automatically add some space before and after each paragraph. Okay, so syntax for paragraph. Syntax, use paragraph tag. So for each and every tag in HTML, so we have starting tag and ending tag for each and every element. Okay, this is the starting tag and this is the ending tag. Okay, between these two starting tag ending tags, we have to define the content to display in the browser. Okay, so this is sample paragraph. Okay, this is sample paragraph. So this is the paragraph content. This content will display in the browser using this paragraph tag. Okay, and the browser will automatically add some space before the paragraph and after the paragraph. Okay, so already we have done one example. Okay, using paragraph. Okay, this sample example shows paragraph example, and you can see this in browser. So this is the example. You can go to inspect and you can see here some space is there. Okay, in different color. Okay, so browser automatically adds some space before the paragraph and after the paragraph. For example, if you uh, define another paragraph here, this is my sample paragraph content. Okay, this is another paragraph. So we have two paragraphs in our HTML document. Okay, so now save this and run this example. You can see two paragraphs is there. Okay, for these two paragraphs there is some gap between these two paragraphs. Okay, so browser will automatically add some space before and after the each paragraph. Okay, paragraphs need some gap, right, um, for separation, and this is the syntax for paragraph. And the next element is image tag. HTML image. Okay, to display images in HTML documents, we can use image tag. Display images in HTML documents. We can use image tag. Image tag. So images are defined with the image tag, and source attribute and alternate attribute, size attribute. Size is height and width. Attributes are provided as attributes. Okay, source, alt, and height width attributes we need to provide, okay, to display image in the browser. Source attribute src, and height and width and alt attributes. Okay, need to provide as attributes. Okay, source, height, width, and alt. Okay, source is src attribute is used to provide image path, and height is used to provide specify the image height. Okay, and width is to specify image width. Next, alt is alternate text, alternative text. So if you don't have any image to display in the browser, we can use alt attribute to display image name instead of image. So syntax for image tag. So image and source attribute, height, width, and alt attributes, and close this tag. Okay, this is the closing tag for image tag. Okay, so one example on this image tag. So create one HTML form, image.html. Okay, so copy this HTML and paste here. So now remove these two paragraphs. Okay, so we have basic HTML tags is there. So now image and source, so we have to provide the image path. So copy images into our project folder. So we have the images in our my previous classes. Okay, desert.jpg, one image is there. So copy that image into our project folder. Okay, this is our project folder. So now image desert.jpg file is there. Okay, so specify the image path desert.jpg and height 200 pixels, width also 200 pixels, and alt attribute. So alt attribute is used to display alternate text. Like you can define this. Okay, save this file, save this HTML file, image.html, and run this. Okay, double click here. So you can see desert.jpg file is displaying in the browser. So go to inspect, and you can see here total HTML code. Image tag source desert.jpg. So you can see here full path. Okay, 10/24/2017 /html desert.jpg. So this is the full path of image, and the height of the image, and width of the image, and the alt attribute. So alt attribute nothing but like so for example, so remove this image path. Okay, so now you don't have any image to display in the browser, but you want to display image name in the browser instead of image. Okay, now save this file and run this example. You can see here source is there, is not there, unknown, and alt desert.jpg. So image text is displaying. Okay, instead of image text is displaying. So this is the usage of alt attribute. Okay, and this is the path of image. So this path and image.html file both are in same folder, right? So image and image.html file. So these two files in same folder, that is HTML folder. So but in your real-time applications, you need to separate files like image folder separate, CSS files separate, JavaScript files separate. Okay, total HTML files separate. Okay, you need to define, you need to divide all these files like this. Okay, by the type you need to divide. So create one folder here, images. So now our image is in image folder, right? You can see image folder, and in image folder we have desert.jpg file. So now without changing the code, and you can see in the browser the result. Okay, so image path is there, but image not displaying, because we have to define the full path of image. Full path means our image is in image folder, right? In this folder, HTML folder, image folder is there. In image folder we have this image. So define this images slash desert.jpg. So now run this example. Okay, so we have to define the image path like this. Okay, so this is the image tag example.